Foxconn faces 180 billion yuan in back taxes rumors and the confiscation of 20,000 stadiums. State-owned hospital in Hunan informs complete staff dismissal, sparks viral discussion. The CCP held an organ harvesting organization conference in Wuhan, criticized as a demonic gathering. 126 companies canceled or suspended IPO applications on Star Market. Chinese policy stifles startups and innovation. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Foxconn faces 180 billion yuan in back taxes rumors and the confiscation of 20,000 stadiums. Amid the investigation by Chinese authorities into Foxconn, High Precision Industry Company, Limited, a Taiwanese multinational electronics contract manufacturer, recent social media posts in the mainland have brought up news stating that Foxconn is facing an extensive investigation, being asked to pay 180 billion yuan in back taxes, and approximately 20,000 football fields worth of land will be reclaimed by the government. However, in reaction to these claims, on the evening of November 2, Foxconn issued a firm rebuttal, stressing that all of the aforementioned allegations are nothing but unfounded rumors. In detail, according to an official statement released on the evening of November 2 by Foxconn Technology Group's official Weibo account, the recent online rumors mentioned above are completely untrue. It stated that some self-media outlets have irresponsibly spread false information, disseminating inaccurate content across various platforms, which has seriously harmed the group's reputation and had significant negative consequences, with highly detrimental effects. The statement goes on to stress that Foxconn consistently follows lawful and compliant business practices, and the group's production and operations are currently proceeding as usual and in an organized manner. They hope that the public can differentiate between fact and fiction, refrain from believing or spreading rumors, and, if necessary, report them. It's worth noting that earlier on November 2, the founder of Foxconn, Terry Gou, completed his presidential candidacy endorsements and submissions. In response to the Foxconn investigation, Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council Chairman, Chiu Taisan, stated in a media interview on October 31 that the actions taken by the Chinese Communist authorities are primarily aimed at preventing Terry Gou from entering political office. Analysts have pointed out that this isn't the first time Chinese Communist officials have targeted Taiwanese companies for political reasons, having imposed fines on companies like the Far Eastern Group and Haibuang Group in the past. Terry Gou once stated that he is not threatened. At the end of August this year, Terry Gou announced his candidacy as an independent participant in next year's Taiwan election and resigned from his position as chairman of Hanhai. When asked by the media what he would do if the Chinese Communist Party sought to confiscate Hanhai's assets due to his non-compliance, he responded, "Yes, please. Unless the Chinese Communist Party invades Taiwan, I can return to being a mold worker. I cannot follow their directives, as I have never been under the control of the CCP. If they come to attack me or confiscate my assets, I am not threatened." As of now, the Chinese authorities have not issued an official response concerning the circulating rumors about Foxconn undergoing a thorough investigation. Meanwhile, Taiwan's Ministry of Economic Affairs has stated that they have already been in touch with Foxconn and will offer assistance as required. State-owned hospital in Hunan informs complete staff dismissal, sparks viral discussion. In a recent development, a hospital in China made an abrupt announcement, declaring the termination of all its employees. However, the notice lacked specific compensation details, which has prompted employees to seek legal recourse. In more detail, the hospital in question is Hunan Kanya Hospital. This announcement came to light on the evening of November 1, local time. The primary reason behind this decision is the hospital's intent to consolidate resources between City Central Hospital and Kanya Hospital. Yang City Central Hospital is set to take over the management of Kanya Hospital in the near future, leading to the formal termination of labor or employment agreements with all employees on November 30. A number of Kanya Hospital employees shared this notice on social media, expressing their distress about the prospect of nearly 700 employees at the hospital collectively facing unemployment and feeling entirely helpless. They emphasized that after dedicating years to their positions, the hospital unilaterally terminated their contracts, leaving them jobless overnight. Some individuals have expressed skepticism about the official compensation outlined in the notice, likening it to an empty promise due to the absence of a concrete plan. They see it as a mere formality, and considering that employees have already gone without pay for 4 to 5 months, they harbor doubts about the feasibility of providing short-term compensation. They question how many ordinary individuals can sustain a prolonged struggle. This development has ignited discussions within online communities and rapidly become a trending topic on social media. Speculation arises that, given the transition from a private hospital to a state-owned one, employees may need to pass an exam to secure their positions, with only a select few likely to be retained. Chinese media outlets have begun reaching out to Kangya Hospital for additional information. The hospital has acknowledged the incident but has not provided specific plans for personnel arrangements and compensation. One staff member commented that the staff representative meeting hadn't even taken place, and this news was released abruptly. The CCP held an organ harvesting organization conference in Wuhan, criticized as a demonic gathering. The CCP recently organized the National Organ Procurement and Organizational Assembly from October 27 to 28 at the East Lake International Conference Center in Wuhan. However, the event received limited coverage in official state media. The conference had participants that included officials and leaders in the field of organ transplantation, with former Deputy Minister of Health Huang Jiefu leading the group. It also featured directors of organ transplant departments from over 180 transplant hospitals nationwide and heads of more than 120 organ procurement organizations, IPOs. These organ procurement organizations operate under the unified leadership of the Chinese National Health Commission and are responsible for obtaining, preserving, and transporting human organs, playing a significant role in organ distribution. In contrast to the extensive media coverage of the 2019 National Organ Procurement and Organizational Assembly held in Wuhan by Chinese state media, this year's event received minimal attention, with only a few attendees sharing information about it. Comments in the comments sections of 2 related Weibo articles reflect the views of Chinese netizens regarding the conference. Users have criticized the event, referring to it as a terrorist organization, calling the participants butchers, and even likening it to a gathering of demons. It is worth noting that organizations like the New York-based Investigative Organization for Persecution of Falun Gong have previously exposed allegations that the Chinese Communist Party has been involved in large-scale forced organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners, leading to the establishment of a secret national organ donor pool and the development of one of the world's largest organ transplant industries. This information suggests that the CCP's organ harvesting industry continues to expand, with an increasing number of victims, from incidents like the case of Hunan in Jiangxi last year to the widespread discussions regarding the suspected ongoing practice of forced organ harvesting from young people across the country. Desperate. A sharp increase in the number of Chinese people fleeing to the United States, revealing terrifying experiences back home. The mainland's economy continues to decline, resulting in the departure of foreign capital, the closure of small businesses, reductions in government employee salaries, and a rising unemployment rate. This has pushed desperate Chinese citizens to take risks, and some have even resorted to various methods to escape from China, including using the Darien Gap in Panama for this purpose. According to data from the Panamanian Immigration Office, the number of Chinese people crossing the Darien Gap has risen significantly, ranking 4th in the first 9 months of this year. The top 3 nationalities using this route are Venezuelans, Ecuadorians, and Haitians. The Associated Press, AP, reports that the monthly number of Chinese immigrants crossing the Darien Gap has been steadily rising, from 913 people in January to 2,588 people in September. In the first 9 months of this year, a total of 15,567 Chinese individuals were registered crossing this route, a sharp contrast to the 376 who undertook this journey from 2010 to 2021. At the U.S.-Mexico border, the U.S. Border Patrol has arrested 22,187 Chinese individuals for illegal border crossings from Mexico into the United States from January to September, nearly 13 times the number during the same period in 2022. In September alone, 4,010 individuals were apprehended, marking a 70% increase from August. One such Chinese immigrant who made it to the U.S. this year is Zhu Gaofeng, who escaped due to political persecution. He was previously arrested in China for organizing an online event commemorating the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests and endured constant surveillance for 2 years, leaving him with no privacy. He said that every October 1st, August 1st, July 1st, New Year's Day, or any major sports event, the National Security Police would monitor him around the clock, from Hunan to Sichuan. The surveillance was so intense that he had no choice but to escape. It was excruciating. Zhu, unable to obtain a passport and being under border control, faced numerous challenges in escaping China. However, Zhu said that he was not alone in this experience. Many others have gone through the same ordeal. Zhu's case is one of a minority escaping for political reasons, as most are driven by economic pressures. The COVID-19 pandemic led to extended lockdowns, factory closures, bankruptcies, and economic hardships, making it difficult for many to find work. The pandemic took a significant toll on businesses, with many unable to operate and struggling to pay rent and other expenses. Debt collectors added to their difficulties, pushing some to escape to the United States. The United Nations anticipates a net decrease of 310,000 people due to migration from China this year, a substantial increase from the 120,000 in 2012. 126 companies canceled or suspended IPO applications on Star Market. Chinese policy stifles startups and innovation. More than 100 companies have canceled their applications for initial public offerings, IPOs, on China's Star Market this year as authorities tighten regulations on the sector. Under the instruction of the China Securities Regulatory Commission, Hong Kong has also formulated corresponding measures. Analysts say that the Beijing authorities' policy reversal has led to the disappearance of high-potential project financing opportunities for startup companies. According to a report by the Financial Times on October 30th, since this year, at least 126 companies have canceled or suspended their IPO applications on the Shanghai Science and Technology Innovation Board, Star Market. This data is more than the previous 4 years of similar data combined. The main reason why a large number of companies have canceled their IPO applications is that regulatory agencies have raised the threshold for companies to IPO on the Star Market. The article stated that the Star Market was originally launched to provide high-risk companies with opportunities to enter the capital market, but now regulators have raised the threshold for IPOs on this market. For many startups, listing on the Star Market has become out of reach. Public records show that in the first 9 months of this year, nearly 2/3 of IPO applications failed to be approved. The proportion of funds raised by the Star Market in China's total funds raised has also dropped from 50% in 2022 to about 40% this year. Senior executives at the Shanghai Stock Exchange claimed that strengthening regulatory scrutiny would help effectively channel resources to companies with real potential. However, business people believe that the Science and Technology Innovation Board's move to raise the listing threshold will deprive high-potential startups of fundraising opportunities, thereby stifling enthusiasm for innovation. James Lee is a Shenzhen investment banker who has worked on IPOs on the Science and Technology Innovation Board. James Lee commented, "Shanghai Science and Technology Innovation Board is no longer suitable for loss-making startups, even though it was originally designed for them." In addition, under the guidance of regulatory agencies such as the China Securities Regulatory Commission, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange has also set higher standards for listing applications this year. Not only must companies applying for IPOs be profitable, but they must also explain in detail how their technology comparable to the industry leaders and whether their business models are sustainable. The report believes that such a policy change is equivalent to a complete reversal of China's approach to encouraging innovation. The report quoted Andrew, founder and managing director of Oriental Capital in Hong Kong. "The Chinese government is basically saying, I will not use the power of the state to support any company that cannot guarantee success." Andrew's analysis said, "This is an overly political policy that is unlikely to succeed." Chen Jiwu, a finance professor at the University of Hong Kong, also said frankly, letting regulators decide which high-tech companies should be listed is like asking an 8-year-old child to choose the best moon landing technology. it will never succeed. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.